Hello there! Ever since I started DMing, I've always created my own campaigns. With each campaign, I always try to do something different. The creature types in 5e are a good way to start, but are they actually good? In this video, I'll be putting all the creature types in a tier list. I will be rating each category in aesthetic, versatility, roleplay, and the overall fun. As you can probably guess, these things are all subjective, and everyone has their own right to think what is their favorite category.
That's my opinion!
Don't like any of my choices? Put them down in the comments, but be respectful. Let's start off this list with the F tier. There is only one category that I think fits in the F tier, and if you couldn't guess, it is Celestials. From Pegasus and Unicorns to Fallen Angels. They've got the holy vibes, you probably can do some unique roleplay with them, but it's very hard to put them in your game naturally. There's also no low-level Celestial being. You will need homebrew if you want to make it work, or if you start at the higher level. Coming up in C tier, we have actually 4 different categories. And starting off the right, we've got Oozes. Sticky and slimy, dirty and weird. These creatures make for a great encounter. Once. Of course, with a great scenario and a great campaign, you can make anything work. But Oozes require so much more effort. Since Oozes only have a 1 in intelligence, you also can't really roleplay them. This one goes in C tier. And speaking of, the next one on the list is plants. I actually feel a bit bad for putting plants this low. The aesthetic of a campaign that revolves around plants sounds amazing. Yet plants get overshadowed by just better categories. And you know what? I think we're gonna put this one in B tier. As I've not played them before, I can't give a full review of the plants. But I think they're pretty versatile, as you can put them anywhere you want. Aesthetically, they can fit any genre you're trying to go for. With just a little bit of work, you can make plants great. And next up in C tier, we've got beasts. This might sound weird because I'm sure everyone likes an animal. A bear, a dog, an elephant. But the thing is, who likes slaying an animal? No one. That's why they're in C tier. I have given beasts a B in every category. While I can't use them in an encounter, it's still fun to roleplay an animal for my players. Now listen, this might cause some controversy, but I've put dragons at the top of C tier. While dragons are undeniably cool, using them at low levels is kind of tricky. Dragons in my world are more beast-like, and that has created the same thing for me as a beast. And I can understand why other people would put this higher, but for now, I'm gonna keep them in C tier. What the heck? This man puts plants in front of dragons? While making this list, I actually changed my mind about some of these creatures. Like for example, the next one. Giants. You've got your ogres, you've got your trolls, your actual giants, but essentially they're just tall humanoids. I'm putting them down in C because they lack variety. We've finally come to B tier, and while we already have plants, I think the next one is actually kind of borderline C still. Elements. Fire elementals, ice elementals, for some reason I just love them. These make for great minions of bigger bosses. And in a fantasy-rich world, this just works naturally. Usually I make these pair up with my wizards, my dragons. You can put them in dungeons as guardians, or you can give them to a wizard. Roleplay wise they kinda suck, but that's okay, cause these are side characters. Now the next 3 creatures in the B tier are actually not bad. You can easily include these in your games. You can roleplay them and have them in encounters. And the first one is going to be Fae. It's a bit tricky to play a Fae, and Faes are tricksters. Fun to roleplay, I've made a few campaigns about them already. You've got hags, dryads, these things. There's something for everyone in the Fae category. Coming up next are aberrations. Mind flayers, beholders. Aberrations are the space-like creatures of D&D. They are harder to put in your game, but oh boy are they fun to use. And ever since Baldur's Gate came out, my love for aberrations has just gone way up. I can't really explain too much why I like them so much, but I just finished 2 campaigns using such creatures. Humanoids. Humanoids are the blank canvas of all 5e creatures. You can do anything with them. I have placed them at the top of B tier because it really depends on how well you play them. I have given everything a B, let's move on. Now we are getting into A tier, and there's only one of them in there. Monstrosities. Mimics, manticores, harpies, the list goes on and on and on with all incredible monsters. The list that I'm showing you is just the basic rules. Monstrosities are awesome to slay for a player, and making them feel nervous while fighting them. There is literally something for everyone in the monstrosity category. Except maybe if you want to roleplay, they don't talk too much, but regardless of that, we have reached the S tier. Ooh. And there's 3 categories within it. And the first one is going to be undeads. I love putting zombies and ghouls in my crypts and dungeons. Cause what is D&D without a good dungeon with some skeletons to mash and smash? No one feels remorse for slaying an undead because they're already dead. And if you want a more roleplay kind of creature, you can also go for ghosts and vampires. For me, they deserve the last spot in the S tier category. But what is even better than undeads? So the question is, what is better than an undead?
What is better than an undead?
Yeah.
Being alive?
Ain't it the truth?
No, the correct answer is fiends. Fiends are like just one step higher than undeads. They do everything just a little bit better. From little imps to big demons, they've got the aesthetic, they've got the roleplay. Versatility might be a bit difficult regardless of your campaign, but they're so fun to play. But we finally made it to the last category. This is my all-time favorite monster category for 5e D&D. Constructs. Now hear me out. I find constructs a breath of fresh air each time I encounter one as a player. Having to fight a flying corpse is so different than fighting a swarm of bats or something. Don't like flying carpets? Have a goblin animate some knives and throw them all around. They make for great minions. Roleplay wise, they're kind of the same like monstrosities, but these are encounters your players will never forget. For me, constructs deserve the #1 spot in the S tier category. But which ones are your favorites? Do keep in mind that these were all subjective choices, and I'm not trying to advocate like certain categories above the other ones. I hope you liked this video. Please subscribe, maybe comment, and I'll see you next time.